television commercial that's actually advertising our software across the country. We are a remodeling software that someone can take a picture of their home and then use manufacturer products to remodel their home. So yeah, probably a light would be good. So I'm just going to show you and hopefully you can hear it. No,
get a helping hand with home remodeling with Homeworks Home Remodeling Software. Only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. With Homeworks, use actual photos of your home to change paint color, flooring, windows, doors, roofing, siding, anything. Well, almost anything. Before you remodel, use Homeworks and picture the difference. Only at Home Hardware.
So that's the only marketing spiel I'll do to you right now. So obviously, if you want to talk the kind of the business model around the software, I'd be happy to talk about that, because really the software, what it's doing from a marketing and sales side for that particular customer, Home Hardware, is large. I mean, a big part of the entire software. So this software sells retail in 1,000 Home Hardware stores across Canada for $24.97. There are approximately 2,500 different manufacturer products within the software. There's about 33 different manufacturers in there. And I'll just go through some of the main parts of the software before I'm going to actually bring in a home and show you how a homeowner would use the software to remodel their home. Just to give you an indication of the remodeling industry in North America, the remodeling industry is about a $100 billion industry in North America, and we're trying to tap into that. What we want to be is regarded as a tool that whenever someone's doing a remodeling project, they would use Renoworks software to kind of help them understand their idea and their ultimate project. So you can see on the bottom here are all the different product categories that we have. Paint, flooring, siding, roofing, masonry, windows, doors, and a whole bunch of add-ons. On the left-hand side is the tool menu, where you basically use all the functionality of the tools to basically perform and complete a project. So what I'm going to do, and please interrupt me throughout if you have any questions, I'm going to actually go in and open a saved project and bring in a house. So what I'm going to do in the quick demo, I'm going to change all the windows, I'm going to change the door, I'm going to put new siding on, and I'm going to actually put new roofing on. This home that we have, as an example here, was a home that a contractor actually used to present to a homeowner. So they used our software, and this homeowner, actually all they wanted was a window up here in the top part of the home. The contractor actually took it and said, hey, not only can I install a new window up there, but I can redo your entire home. So what the contractor did was they were able to turn what was potentially a $4,000 sale in just changing that one window to what became a $40,000 sale. And I can show you the before and afters. And that's just kind of one example of what's going on. So I'm going to try to do this very quickly here. What I'm going to do first is define the foreground. So this is actually kind of a cool piece of technology. Photoshop has similar technology. And why I'm defining foreground is because this tree here, I want the siding to appear behind it. So what we're doing is we're going for very authentic photo rendering of someone's remodeled home. And so I'm just going to, this is kind of you can see that when I go down here onto the fence, and all this technology is doing is it's delineating between the different colors of pixels, and you can see I got to be careful, but it's kind of doing the work for me. And then I just kind of clear it. So now that tree's in the foreground. I'm going to do these little bushes over here. You don't have to be exact. Just go up a little bit onto that tree. I'll do some of these bushes over here. This is just kind of setting the stage. What we say to people is that you should be able to mask and fully redesign your home. And by mask, I mean kind of just preparing it in about 15 minutes. And so we have both homeowners that are buying this software, but also professional designers and contractors that use this software when they're presenting to different homeowners. So there, I've basically done all the foreground that I need to do right now. So what I'm going to start doing is start applying new products. And I'm going to define a new region, and I'm going to start with roofing. And all I do is I choose my outline tool again. So if you're familiar with Photoshop, a lot of the functionality in this program is very similar to Photoshop. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just masking off the roof. Actually, before I keep it, and it's going to turn a funky color. It just shows that we've finished that. I'm going to actually start, before I finish that, I'm going to start applying windows. The huge thing around this program is that we had manufacturers participate in it. And so I'm going to choose Gentleman Windows. I'm going to come up here, and in putting a window in, all it is you kind of get your crosshairs, drag and click, numerous different options on windows. It goes to manufacturer specs. I can choose a different trim, again, going to all manufacturer specs. I can put some grills in there, and then I can choose the glass color. Incidentally, the glass that you see right now, so the window's going to appear here. So there's a new window. The glass that you see right now, it's actually not too realistic. In our versions that we've released to our pro customers, we've actually changed it so that you can put more realistic glass in there, and it actually it really works well. So now I just copied and pasted the next piece of functionality. Now if you look at this one window that I've put in here, you can see it doesn't really look too authentic. It looks like it's standing out. So there's some functionality here that allows me to put shading on it to make it appear further in the background. One of the things that for you developers watching this demo, and I'd love to get your input on, the biggest thing that we have an issue with right now is usability. So if I'm selling this to, and no offense to older people in Canada, but if I'm selling this to a 50-year-old homeowner in Canada, they got to be able to use the software, and it needs to be easy. So I'm constantly working on my user interface and ease of use.
2 more minutes.
Oh my goodness.
You
should have told me right at the beginning that I only had that. That's all right. So we'll apply a door here. And what else? Door is wood, so I'm just going to apply it. I'll put it in place. And again, I'm going to put the average on that. Okay, it sits in the back, and you know what? Seeing as though I've done roofing, and Kempton isn't letting me really talk about it, I'm going to apply the roof. So again, I have numerous different products to choose from. That doesn't look too authentic in that it doesn't look like it's sloping back into the house. So I'm going to apply perspective to it. And all I'm going to do here is bring this back in there, create a little bit of slope to it, apply it, and I will try to do one more layer of siding just to show you. Now actually I'll do this siding layer here where the tree is to show you that it will appear behind the tree. Okay, go to siding, go to one of my manufacturer's products, and now it's applied. And again, you just go through the different phases of going through all this, and again, I just go back and put some shading on it, and it looks a little more authentic because it's more recessed back there. And then what a consumer is able to do is they're able to print out a before and after picture with all the products they've used, and then go and visit a home hardware store and say, I want to buy all these products. I know the color, I know the manufacturer type, and we've had numerous stories now of homeowners coming in and making a $20,000 purchase because they bought a $25 piece of software.
Does this software include prices for materials? Can you generate an estimate for that?
Awesome question, because that's exactly the space that I'm in right now and in discussions. This software does not. Okay. And we it was a decision that we made not to include that, because what home hardware wanted to do is they wanted to
get people in the store.
Get people in the store, foot traffic. And they didn't want to sell this online. We can easily sell this online. We're looking to sell this online now. And in next year when they do they're going to tweak the television commercial, and hopefully we'll be able to get them to say purchase online as well.
What platforms do you support?
It's VB and C++, moving to .NET.
You and I have a problem.
Yes. I know Ken Rylands.
Yeah. Ken actually talk.
Okay, good. I need .NET developers.
That's great. So we are smoothly moving to the questions, answers area. Like, anyone have any questions? Go ahead.
Is there anything to stop me from making a 20-foot window, and then like the product? Can that tell you that we don't make a window that big?
Good. Perfect question. Again, it does. All the manufacturer specs are in here. So if you look, look how big that is. I just kind of drew it across. It's generating, and it's not going to. If I go OK, let's see what it generates. No, it just generates that size of window because that's all I'm allowed. And
so the internal database actually know what is this maximum size.
Yeah, and here you can see the measurements. I'm stretching it out, but it doesn't let me make it any bigger.
Physically, it doesn't make sense.
No, because it's specific to what the particular home hardware store is selling as well, and it's also specific to the province that you enter when you first register your software, because there's a siding company that provides for Eastern Canada because their weather is different, versus a siding company in BC that it's cement fiberboard. And so all that intelligence, it's not hugely intelligent, but all that intelligence is based in the software.
Are you looking to incorporate a Z-axis? So you've got X and Y, and just kind of like, from this perspective, I'm 12 meters from the house, and then the roof is another 14 meters back.
Maybe you don't want to work for Microsoft. It's exactly one thing that we've developed that I'm not showing you on this software is that it's 100%. All the Z-axis and pictogrammery, I forget the name, our CTO knows it. But it allows you to create 3D objects. Did you see us demo that? 3D? Like any of our 3D, sunrooms, for example, or decks, or kitchen cabinets that you need 3D modeling. So to put a 3D object onto a 2D picture, there's a ton of math.
IKEA has something like this, so they do it for kitchens and things like that.
Is it on your own photo, though?
No. This is different.
Yeah, and that's our whole premise, is your own home. Like, we're not going to go into the CAD space where you're designing a virtual room that kind of looks like your home.
Great, thanks a lot.
The database, all the products up to date. Is that an easy task? Or
no, it's not easy at all. I mean, because it involves communicating with manufacturers and it's actually, it's somewhat labor intensive actually, because we physically have to change everything. But once we've done the changes, it's easy to update it within the software. It's one click of a button, and you can have a whole. So part of the business model that we have is obviously we want Home Hardware, and why they branded it on their own. We want Home Hardware to sell this every year, and if they just sell, we know that products will always change, and we'll always add some functionality, but if people just keep buying the product library update, then that gives us recurring revenue.
Right. Thanks for that.
Thank you.